Hey guys, how are you? Alright, so this is day 4 of my journey back to myself. I have not been on for a couple days because it's been a pretty rough couple days. The first day, I just wanted to apologize to everybody too, by the way. I am so sorry that I posted those first couple of days. Let me lower this. Hold on one second, guys. What's up? Hey. What's up? Yeah. Gotcha. Thank you. I love you too. Okay, that was my beautiful little girl checking on me. You love her. Hi, sissy. Okay, so I know that I'll probably get in trouble for this song, but hey, Lisa. So this is gonna be my song. It's called the Fight Song. Anyway, I promised you all that I would take you on this adventure with me. And oh my God, it's crazy. I love you too, Lisa. So, you guys are gonna be my anchor, and you're gonna be what's helping me get through this. And it's twofold, because helping me get through this is gonna help a lot of other people get through the same battle. So I had to force myself to go on today. Okay, I'm done. Don't ever get your ovaries out. No, I'm kidding. The first step is have an amazing support system, because that's what I have. I have the most amazing support system. So yes, this is going to be my theme song. It's called the Fight Song. And every single one of you out there that are fighting depression, that's fighting hormones, thyroid problems, you make sure that you find yourself a theme song. And that's how you start it. And I am going to take back my life. I'm not going to let my thyroid, my hormones, nothing get the best of me. So we're going to venture on this together, and I'm going to fight for every single one of you out there and help you get healthy. I just want you all to know I am on 0 medicines, none. I even took myself off Zoloft, so I'm going through this all natural, 100%. I know a lot of people are thinking that's crazy, but honestly, I think it's the best thing for me, because you never know. That's right, Missy. Fight, fight, fight. And Christina, I know that you said that you were gonna come on here and watch too. So I'm fighting this fight for you too. Okay, so day 4. Woke up, not wanting to come out of my room, extremely emotional. I just want to explain something to everyone. I know that a few people. I'm going to, Missy. Honestly. Your vitamins are what I'm going to take. We're going to take this step together. So I'll be posting all of these things. But now there was a lot of questions. So I'm going to go back a little bit with my history. So I hope you guys have some time. I'm not going to take too much of your time. Okay. Back in 2001, I had, yes. Hey, Tracy, how are you? Back in 2001, I got pregnant. And no, 2002? 2002. I got pregnant, and I didn't know it. I went to the hospital thinking that I was sick and had cancer. And of course, I'm Miss Drama Queen, as everybody likes to call me. I'll own that title. I'll wear that crown well. The doctor did every test mentionable on me. And at the end, he said, okay, well, this is negative, this is negative, this is negative, this is negative, pregnancy positive. And I said, whoa. What you talking about, pregnancy positive? And he said, oh, yes, you're pregnant. So I sat there and I cried because I already had 5 children living in a 3-bedroom house in Norfolk, Virginia. Very small house, wonderful husband, wonderful children, but I didn't know how the heck we were going to afford having a 6th child, especially since my last child was already 8 months old. It's okay if you send it to your son. It's all right. Anyway, I started crying. Don't know why I was crying, I just was. Lady sitting next to me pulls the curtain aside and she says, "Ma'am, I don't know why you're crying, but can I pray for you?" And I said, "Absolutely." And she laid her hands on me and she prayed. I was crying because I was scared and I didn't know how my husband would take the news. When he came in, I told him and he said, "Hi, Blake. How are you, sweetheart?" And he said, "We'll get through this." 2 months later, I went to the doctor to have my first checkup. And when I walked in, this is the first time my husband had never gone to an appointment with me. But I didn't think anything would be wrong. And sorry guys. And the doctor said, "Let's talk about your cancer." And I was shocked because I was not aware that I had cancer. I know my nose is so red. And I said I thought I was just here for a regular OB appointment. So the doctor got scared because he wasn't my regular doctor. He jumped up and he left the room, sent another doctor in. And right now, postpartum depression, I don't know. And so the doctor sat down and spoke to me and told me that my test results had come back and I had cervical cancer. And I was there's 2 different parts of it. So I was the last stage of the first stage, if that makes sense. The problem is that I was pregnant, so they had just done a test at my 6-week checkup after I had 6 months checkup after I had Faith, and I had nothing wrong with me. So she was a little concerned that it had shown up as advanced as it was, and she said that they had to do a biopsy. Anyway, I'm not going to get into all of that because that's just the crazy part of it all. My point was, if I didn't get pregnant of my last child, I would never have known I had cancer, and I probably would not be sitting here talking to you today. I had a lot of people telling me that I should have an abortion so that I can take care of my body, but I figured God would not allow me to be pregnant to take the life away from me. So that's just how I felt at the time, and he was going to take care of me. Yes, yes, Donna. Anyway, please, guys, I need you to share this. This might help someone. This has gone on 16 years, okay? So you never know the life that you might save, and I say the life you may save very seriously, okay? Anyway, I decided that, obviously not to get rid of the baby, and she, every year on her birthday, Sunny makes me tell her how she saved my life, so that's, it's par for the course. Anyway, after she was born, they said that all they would have to do was take out a piece of the cancer, of the cervix. And my sister had this done too, I believe, but I don't want to get into her business. So I said, okay, went in, had it done, joked about it, with the doctor, asked him if he can put, gold inside me, make my boobs bigger, had the whole 9 yards. And, it's okay. Hey, Carrie, how are you? It's okay that I'm crying. So anyway, I felt I was better, and I didn't need to go back to the doctor after he did the surgery. So I just never went back. And I felt like I was okay and, you know, moving on with my life and everything. And then hi Dina. Yeah, I wanted big boobs. Can you imagine? I figured if he took something else out, he might as well have given me big boobs, you know? But anyway, so, hold on. I ended up going back to the doctor. I don't even remember why. And I walked in there. Hi Dina. How are you? I walked in there thinking, stop, Missy. You're just trying to make me laugh. Anyway, I went back thinking everything was fine. And I went to go give him a hug and tell him that, you know, he was awesome or whatever. And he grabbed me and started yelling at me. Oh, Teresa, you're beautiful. I can't wait for your wedding. And he started yelling at me and he was crying. And he asked me where I had been, and I said I was in the middle of moving, and I thought everything was fine. And he said, no, it's not fine. He said that the cancer may have been small, but it went deep. So it went to the tip of my uterus. And he said that he needed to do a hysterectomy. So those of you that are asking this, because they're very confused about the last 3 surgeries that I had, you can have a hysterectomy and not take everything out. And, you know, back in the olden days, they just did a hysterectomy and they grabbed everything out because they figured one and done. What people don't realize is a boo is your friend. Oh, never mind. I don't know. Anyway, let me get back to me. You guys have your conversations. What everybody doesn't realize is that your body is full of hormones. And by taking your ovaries, you are causing, Donna, stop. You're causing your hormones to go crazy. When that happens and you expose yourself to that, your chances of having a lower mortality rate are high. So you have a higher risk of having heart disease, and you have a higher risk of having cancer of different things. It's okay, baby. I love you, sissy. So my doctor said I was way too young. I was in my 30s, and he said if he took out my ovaries, it would just cause too many different hormonal issues, and he didn't want to expose me to that. So he decided that he was going to let me keep my ovaries. Wasn't he great? He's just wonderful. I felt that was the best thing for me too, because I didn't want my family to have to go through what I'm going through right now. Would have been back then. And at that time, remember, I had a newborn baby. So to go through that and postpartum, I probably would not be here right now. So I kept my ovaries, and then within a few months, different things started happening. My body was changing and just really weird stuff. And my sister can tell you, I get this brown mark on my chin when I'm pregnant. And every so often I would get the brown mark on my chin, and my boobs would get really big. And hi Nora, how are you? Stacy, hi Stacy. And so I was going through hormonal stuff anyway. And so for years and years and years, I would go in and out of depression. I would go in and out of anxiety problems. And, you know, the doctors would try and put me on all kinds of different medicines and basically say that it was anxiety. I started having heart problems. I mean, I'm going to show you this real quick. Nora, you're so beautiful. Actually, I'll show it to you later. I have, and I've kept them on purpose, I have a drawer full of drugs. If I line them up here, I have drugs. Drugs. And I kept the pills. Hey, Valerie, or Gary, I don't know which one it is. All right, so look at this so far. I just spilled coffee everywhere. My husband's gonna probably kill me. No, he won't. He loves me. Hey, Brandon. Look at this. Do you see this? Look at this straw. Okay, this is just in the last couple of months. And if you can tell, look at this. Do you see that? And if you listen, they're all full. Is this crazy?
Look at this. Another one. Look at another one. And that, oh, hold on. Another one. That is just crazy. Just crazy. Look at this. Hey, Laura. Do you see this? Now, these pills is after I cleaned my drawer out last month. This is after I threw away all my drugs. That's ridiculous. It's okay. It's what makes it, right? I'm gonna open my blinds here too. So I couldn't take it anymore. I was working in, this is morphine. They gave me morphine, okay? Morphine and cyclobenzap, names I can't even, ranitidine and names I can't even pronounce. Anyway, I was also working in a restaurant. So I was working 80 hours a week. No, Don, I'm not throwing them away. I'm not taking them, but I'm not throwing them away because they are my badge. They are definitely going to be my badge of what I accomplished. And I want other people to see what I went through, because if I have to go through this, I don't want anybody else to go through it alone. Okay, so no, I'm not throwing them away. We will have a party when I am 100% better, and we'll throw them away then. Is that a deal? Hey, Ryan, how are you? Okay, so back to my story. Story time, guys. So I ended up getting really sick to the point where I couldn't talk to people. And my sister and I actually had a little falling out because of it. Because she didn't understand. Everybody deals with things differently, and I couldn't talk about how I was feeling because I didn't want to burden people, and I felt that it was bad enough that I was going through it. So I didn't want to bring anybody else down with me. Hi, Kim. Oh, Kim is another strong survivor. Okay. Anyway, so at least twice a week, I ended up in the hospital in the middle of the night. Oh, I know you understand. It's just we all deal with things differently, Sissy. I don't mean that you didn't understand me. It's just you dealt with your hormone and different problems differently. Me, I like to close up and not talk about it. So, anyway, oh, Kim, I love you so much. And honestly, Kim, you were one of my inspirations, because if you could get through what you went through, I knew I could get through what I was going through too. I know it's hard for them to understand, Missy. But anyway, I was in the hospital at least twice a week. My blood pressure would be up, sometimes 186/88. My heart rate would be at like 210, and a lot of times it happened in the middle of the night when I was sleeping. And my husband would get up and he would take me to the hospital, and they would run tests, and they would just tell him I was having an anxiety attack. And then they would tell him I was going through depression, which I knew I was not going through depression. I knew something in my body was not right. And when they would do my thyroid tests and hormone tests, it would always come out that it was perfect. And honestly, guys, this is going to be another episode during my lives, because there's a lot that you need to know about your body and about your hormones. The scale is wrong. You know, it's a very old scale. So basically what they're saying is if you have 100 people, they've tested 100 people, and that's where that scale comes from 1 to 100, because at one point only this amount of people had hormone and thyroid problems. It is a lot larger now, but the scale has not moved with it. So if, hi Colleen, So if they've done tests on you and your T4 and T3 and ATH levels are at like the high spectrum of normal, then it's not normal. Just like a man, that if they do testosterone tests on them and they say that from 0 to 99 is perfect and he's at 99, do you think that he's going to be any different? Obviously you're on the spectrum of not being normal anymore, but they don't treat you like that. So nobody understands. And then they'd say, okay, well, let's give you some Zoloft. Let's give you some of this. Let's give you some of that. And it got to the point where are these, I know, Valerie. Oh, I love you. Thank you. Are the side effects from the drugs? Are the side effects from my hormones? Who knew? I then went through adrenal failure, where I wouldn't wake up. And they would have to call the ambulance and they would do compressions. And they rushed me to the hospital and I'm laying there. And I told you all this, so I'm not going to beat a dead bush. Can you beat a dead bush? I don't know. Something to think about. But anyway, okay, good, Missy. Anyway, I know. Anyway, so I had to take some time off of work. I then decided that I was going to beat this. And I went online and I said, okay, first things first. I found out that I have Hashimoto's. I found out that I had thyroid cancer. Although they didn't do a biopsy of the thyroid. They told me I had thyroid cancer. So I still have to go get that checked because I do have a nodule. And they diagnosed me with everything under the sun. And put me on every medicine under the sun. And I wasn't getting any better. Matter of fact, I was getting worse. I started gaining weight, which obviously all of you know that when you start gaining weight, you start feeling worse about yourself. I was not feeling myself at all. And everybody that knows me knows that I like to be happy and positive all the time. And that is so draining. It hurts so much. To try and be okay for everyone else. I am a very spiritual person, and I believe in God. And hey, Francis, a lot of my friends are surprised that I'm afraid of dying as much as I am, especially with my faith that I do have. And during all this, I came to an epiphany. I believe that God allowed me to have a fear of death for a reason. Because, if I didn't fear death, I could almost guarantee that I would have taken my life. And that's scary. And I thought about that today. You have such a sense of helplessness, and you feel like no one else understands because you keep yourself trapped in your own little world. And then the medicines that you take make it worse. They don't make it any better. So I decided to start doing some research. And I started off with Candida. I found a couple of amazing people on the website, Dr. Axe, Isabella Wentz. They all went through sort of the same stuff of Hashimoto's and hormone problems. The one thing that I liked about them was when you research them, they don't ask you for more money. Yes, they sell different supplements, but they don't ask you for money for information. They give you the information. They've done the research. They've taken care of themselves, and they really, really want to help others. So, oh my God, I probably should turn on a light. Turn on a light. I'm sorry, I locked myself in my room today. I didn't want to get online today, but then I prayed about it, and the Lord said He allowed me to go through this so that I can help others. Okay, there we go. Is that better, guys? Okay, so I changed my diet. I started taking different supplements, ashwagandha, vitamin D, and I'm gonna write all this down, and I promise you, I'm gonna help anybody that needs the help step by step. And I started feeling amazing, amazing. It was, I had myself back. I had energy. I was losing weight. My relationship with my family was better. I just can't explain how amazing it all was. And I had the help of a very older friend of mine, a longtime friend, Nancy Hester. Her last name is, I can never say her last name, Brabowski. She sells doTERRA essential oils, and she had turned me on to some of the essential oils that are amazing. And so I have a whole essential oil cabinet that there's essential oil for everything. So I really believe in it 100%. And a lot of the supplements that she would tell me about, I would take, and it helped me. So that being said, I started feeling great. Everything was right on track. And then I got dosed with carbon dioxide. Monoxide. I had poisoning, carbon monoxide poisoning, that's it. And everything went back downhill again, and it started all over again. I finally, I couldn't hold anything down. I was gaining weight. My heart rate was up again. And so I started all over again. I'm freezing up. I'm sorry, Nora. I started all over again with my diagnosis and treatment. Is it freezing, guys? I think it's because I'm shaking and moving around a lot. It got to the point where one time I heard the doctor say that I was a hypochondriac. And when the nurse came in the room and she said, you know, do you want a Tylenol? Because I guess my head was hurting, I can't remember. And I told her, you could tell the doctor that I said to take his Tylenol and shove it up his ass. I then had another episode. It's freezing. We don't want it to be freezing. Tell me if it's good, because I don't want to continue if it's not good. Donna, is it good now? I'll stop moving around, okay? Is it freezing still? Hello? Anybody? Is it still freezing, guys? Okay. All right. It's fine. All right. Anyway, so yeah, so I was called a hypochondriac. Should I leave and come back then? Okay. Okay. Anyway, so I had to start all over again. They did CT scans. They did, I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. They did so many tests on me, and they had to reschedule some tests that I went to go get another test done, and the lady stopped and she said, honey, I'm sorry, we can't continue with your test because you are glowing on the inside and we can't see anything. I had so much dye and iodine and all the other crap inside my body that they couldn't even do any more tests on me. That's how filled up I was. It was pretty bad. So anyway, I at that point was like, I'm done. That's it. That's it. Because every time I went in, they found something else wrong with me. They said that I had something on my spleen. One doctor turned around and said, I believe you have cancer. You have so much poop in you, I think you're filled with, you have cancer blocking it. Like, who says that in an emergency room? I freaked out. So finally I went to the kidney doctor because they thought something else was wrong. And the kidney doctor says, I can't find anything. He said, but I did find that you have a growth on your left ovary. And I said, do you think that could be causing the pain? And he said, honestly, I don't know. It could. So he said, but you're also constipated. So he made me go to my gastrologist, and he was the most amazing man. He listened to me. Now, meanwhile, all through all of this, I remember one time I was on Facebook and something had happened, and I guess I messaged something on Facebook, and my cousin from Colorado, Jennifer Brady, I don't know, I think she called 911, something happened. I ended up having a TIA, which are hormones, and messing with your hormones.